I'm lazy, but I also want live food for my fish. The free option would be to go to the park near my house and collect some water from the lake. Another method, theoretically safer but not free, was to buy some Moina macrocopa eggs to start a culture. I tried to establish a culture with these eggs in 4 different ecosystems. In 3 of them with minimal intervention, and in the 4th, I tried to follow the seller's advice a little. I'm not a fan of hardware equipment, but when I discover something special, I know how to appreciate it. This air pump is special. I'll show you why I think so. Live food for fish stimulates natural hunting instincts, providing mental and physical enrichment for fish. Additionally, live foods are often more easily digestible than processed foods, making them a healthier option for fish. Although there are several types of live food for aquarium fish, I chose the option that seemed easiest and safest to obtain. So I bought a Moina macrocopa egg capsule on eBay. And no, it wasn't cheap. This capsule, although it contains hundreds of eggs, weighs less than a gram. Without wasting any more time, I opened the capsule and put a few eggs in the aquarium. Because they were floating, I tried with 2 toothpicks to make them sink. And that's it. Simple and fast. We'll come back to this aquarium in a few days to see what happens. Now I will repeat the same thing in another aquarium. This aquarium is part of another ongoing project. You can see how it looks. But what is happening with this aquarium? Guess! All I can say about this aquarium is that it is on day 45 since the start of this project. We will return to this aquarium in a few days to see if anything interesting has happened. This is ecosystem number 3. It is an unexpected ecosystem. It is just a plastic pot in which I put some cut plants almost 2 years ago. The water doesn't seem to evaporate. I have never topped up with water. It is possible that this ecosystem is hermetically sealed. The last time I opened this lid was more than half a year ago. I was surprised to notice the flower of a cut plant and some small creatures that seem to be able to live in both water and air. I also put some Moina macrocopa eggs here, and I tried to submerge them in the water, but I didn't really succeed. But I left them like that. I forgot to say, but the seller recommends hatching Moina macrocopa eggs in rainwater. But I used tap water. The last environment in which I will try to establish a live food colony for fish. I will create right now, because even though I don't really feel like it, I have to follow the seller's advice a little. Not the rainwater part. Unfortunately, the United Kingdom is not what it used to be either. I mean the rain. It hasn't rained in a long time. For this project, I needed an air pump. That's how I discovered this air pump from AQQA. It has the price of a single fish you can buy for your aquarium. But this air pump can save the entire aquarium due to some of its qualities. I mean that it has a built-in rechargeable battery and can be used when you run out of electricity at your aquarium. In such cases, you can use an air pump like this one to save the fish in the aquarium. I chose the smallest one because that's what I needed. But the same manufacturer also offers air pumps, also with a rechargeable battery for larger aquariums. I did not receive any money to advertise this device. I'm just excited about how much this product can help you. I was thinking that this portable air pump can also be used for the transport of fish over longer distances. In the box, I found everything needed to make a complete product. I will also leave a link in the description to find the product easier. The container I put the water in has some holes in the top. The container is actually the packaging I bought some toy dinosaurs in. Let's be clear, I'm not playing with those toy dinosaurs. My son is playing with them. I set the air pump as I wanted. I only used this check valve that I found in the box so that water does not go down into the air pump. I did not use the air volume regulator that allows you to set the desired airflow. The pump can run all the time, but it can be set to run for 10 seconds and then pause for 10 seconds. I have used very few eggs from this capsule so far. I will put some eggs here too. Although they seem like few eggs, I think there are over 100. And I will leave the air pump on with the 10-second intermittent program. Now it's time to take a walk in the park. It's beautiful in the park, but I came here with a purpose. To collect some water from the lake in a jar and see if there's any chance I can catch some live food to feed the fish in the aquarium later. Due to the fact that it is very hot and has not rained for a long time, an alga has covered the entire surface of the lake. I found a place where I think I'll find leaves on the bottom of the water. If you do the same, it is important to collect pieces of leaves and wood. You can use a larger pot. The next morning, I was surprised to discover this. This solution is free. You can collect water from rivers, lakes, even ponds. The disadvantage is that you don't know what you are collecting. it is often possible to collect some species that will attack your fish or become invasive species in the aquarium. For this reason, before feeding the fish in the aquarium with something like this, you have to wait a few weeks. During this time, you can observe what species you have captured, and the eggs of some unknown species have time to hatch, so no surprises. Three days have passed. It's time to check what happened with Macrocopa moina eggs. In the ecosystem where I don't use a filter and I don't do water changes, I haven't observed any Macrocopa moina because it is inhabited by a large number of fish relative to the volume of the aquarium. I don't think the Macrocopa moina will have any chance of surviving after hatching. In ecosystem number 2, I just finished changing the water. I noticed this little worm. It's actually an invasion of these worms. I still don't know what they are and where they come from. At first I thought they were insect larvae, but now I'm not so sure. And here's the first moina Macrocopa. That means only one thing. There are more of them. Being only day number 3, they are either too small to be seen or they haven't hatched yet. Ecosystem number 3 seems to have changed very quickly. There is a lot of movement in it. I don't remember there being that much activity here. But I think it has to do with the fact that when I removed the lid after so long, an exchange of gases was allowed. What influenced this ecosystem? And the moina Macrocopa eggs that did not hatch were consumed by the other creatures here. Being taken by surprise by what I found here, I decided to feed them with fresh yeast. I do not know if it was the best choice, but we will see again in a few days what happened. Day 3, and for this environment, I left the air pump running non-stop in 10 seconds on 10 seconds off mode. The battery died after almost 3 days, with the mention that on one of the days I turned off the air pump for about 6 hours. It is encouraging that I was able to see 2 or 3 moina Macrocopa, because this is the only place where tap water was used immediately. I will turn off the air pump for the moment because it throws moina Macrocopa eggs onto the walls of the container. Ten days have passed. In ecosystem number 1, I have seen moina Macrocopa for several days, but I have not been able to film them. To avoid reflections during the day, I usually film after dark. but by then the fish were hunting most of the Moina macrocopa, so I had to film immediately when the light was turned on in the aquarium. The fish love Moina macrocopa, and they got used to them quickly. I cannot predict whether the Moina macrocopa will survive in this ecosystem, or will they all be eaten by the fish. In the next aquarium, surprise, surprise, you can barely see the Macropoda moina. The aquarium has no substrate, there are only a few plants, and there's no one to eat them. You can see very few. Unfortunately, this aquarium will be disbanded in the next weeks because this project is coming to the end, and I will not be able to follow the evolution of the Macropoda moina for a longer period of time. The 10th day, and for the next ecosystem. I was impressed with the result here. The yeast I gave them to eat was probably good. Surprised by the result, I gave them yeast again to eat. Another 4 days later, I was carefully studying new species that I saw for the first time in this ecosystem. Either they were looking for the yeast that they had sensed in the water, or among the eggs of the Macropoda moina. There were also eggs of these species. But suddenly, a red cherry shrimp. The presence of this shrimp here is unexpected. This shrimp has survived in this hermetically sealed aquarium. I probably put it here along with some plants cut from another aquarium where I have these shrimp half a year or a year ago. I don't know if you can tell, but this shrimp is a large size compared to the other shrimp I have in the other aquarium. I'm thinking that to molt it needs certain conditions. I can't figure out how it made it, or what it has been eating all this time here. But if it's so big, it must have eaten well. I wonder why I couldn't see it for so long, because it's quite big and it's red. It also resisted to a water temperature of about 10–15 degrees Celsius in winter. One explanation would be that this red cherry shrimp slowed down its metabolism. It moved very little. I also think it was standing in the light towards the window, and I couldn't see it. The presence of these Moina macrocopa have agitated him. Is it me, or does he feed on Moina macrocopa? And in this environment, the number of Moina macrocopa is higher. These cultures of Moina macrocopa must be fed to be sustained in sterile environments like this. You can feed them with any food you feed your fish, but it must be diluted in water. I have prepared them a mixture of yeast and sugar. A drop daily is enough. Overfeeding is dangerous. I let them feed for an hour, then turn on the air pump for 10-20 minutes. In this pot where there are no plants, I changed the water. The added water is from an aquarium, not from the tap. The algae that was in this jar is gone. I can see new species almost daily. For now, it will remain under my observation for the next few weeks. I'm lazy, and it was the first time I'd tried to make a live food culture for my fish. So I couldn't follow all the indications of the cellar, but I managed to set up 4 cultures of Moina macrocopa. Bonus, I ended up with this mini ecosystem, which I can't wait to see what will happen with it. So if you want your fish to be healthy and live long, or simply want to diversify the species in your aquarium, just do it. If you like this video, like and subscribe please.